Hello, this is John with Anthem Business Solutions, and today we're going to go over how to add a menu item. I'm going to show you two different ways to do it. I'm going to show you how to add the item from scratch, and then I'm going to show you an easier way to do it by duplicating the item. If you're going to add by scratch, I recommend making sure you at least get these as a minimum, because you don't have to hit every single setting in the item list, but you do want to make sure you get all of these at the minimum. So pause the screen, take a screenshot, do whatever you have to do to save that. What you're going to want to do is go to the admin portal, which is hrpos.heartland.us. You're going to go to your menu up here at the top left, and you're going to go to account menu. Once you're in account menu, it should default you to items. Now inside the item itself is most of this stuff here, and I'll go over each one of these settings in separate videos. But for now, to create an item, we're going to create one from scratch first. So you're going to select new, and then you're going to start filling in the item information. So let's just call this ribeye dinner. Now you can give it a picture if you have a picture. You can give it a short name, which if this is a really long name for the item, ribeye dinner isn't too bad, but if it's a really long name for the item, it might take up, it might bleed over into the next line or multiple lines on your kitchen printer or order device, kitchen display, whatever you have. So you can abbreviate here using the short name. I'm not going to do that on this one, but you can abbreviate. Now it is going to abbreviate on your order devices, so your kitchen printer or your KDSs, and it's also going to abbreviate on the point of sale for your staff. It's not going to abbreviate for online ordering though. Next is description. If you plan on utilizing the online ordering, I recommend adding a description to your item. Okay, now we're going to add a price. I'm just going to go with $15. You can add a cost here. This will help with reporting later on if you want to see what your cost variance level is. Next, you want to make sure the item is taxable. There is an option to put tax included, which means that the tax is inclusive in the price. So basically, if you did tax inclusive, or tax included, the customer is only going to see $15 on his bill. And in the background, the system's going to deduct the tax rate from the $15. You leave taxable, it's going to do the add-on tax. So the customer is going to see the $15 plus the additional tax. And most of these other ones you can skip. Now remember, if you hover over the question mark with your mouse or stylus, you can see a description of what that field is. And some of these fields you may want to use for your items, but just to add a quick item, I'm going to skip these and go down to the next important option here, which is report category. So I do want to choose a report category. I'm going to choose one of food, because the ribeye is going to go under food. It's important to pick a report category, because if you don't, it's going to show up as an unknown category in your reports, and we don't want that. Next, you want to choose a kitchen group. This is going to tell it kind of where to print. I want it to print to the kitchen. And then we have tags and attributes. You do want to select tag and choose your sales tax. If it's a liquor item, you do want to make sure you add the liquor tax as well. But if it's just food, no liquor, make sure to add the tag for sales tax. This is how the system knows that this item of ribeye dinner is getting taxed. And then the size, I'm not going to add a size to this, but if it's a beverage and you have different sizes, or maybe it's an appetizer that has different sizes, you're going to want to add sizes here so you can add prices. So for example, if it was a small, then I would add small, and if you already have small in your list, you'll be able to select it. If it's the first time, then you're going to see new next to sizes, and you got to hit enter. This allows you to put a price for a certain size. maybe what a better example would be is to have an 8-ounce, since we're doing the steak here. 8-ounce, hit enter. 10-ounce, hit enter, and then a 16-ounce, and hit enter. So now I can add my prices to each of these. Let's say, let's just go with $10, $15, $20. Costs us 3. This one costs us 4. This one costs us 5. Now, if you have sizes selected, then up here at the top where we added the price is actually going to be grayed out. And then below sizes, we have sections. So we're just going to add this to our entree section. Now you can have items go to multiple entrees. Like maybe I want this to be in my lunch section as well. You can add as many sections as you want. And then modifier, we're going to select a modifier. I'm going to have, how would you like that cooked? We can see the meat temps. And then I'm going to add, what 2 sides would you like? So this is depending on what item you're adding. Excuse me. Maybe the item you're adding doesn't have any modifiers, and that's okay. You can skip this part. Or maybe you have some donuts that have different flavors on them, or coffee that has different options of what sweetener they want, and whether they want cream or milk, etc., etc. So these will be your modifiers here. Now, if you want them in a specific order, you can grab them here by this little 6 dots here, and you can move them around. It might be a little hard to do on mobile. It's maybe better on laptops. Okay, now just to go over a couple of the icons here. The trash can, of course, deletes it or removes it from this item. The eyeball is a shortcut. It's going to take you to the modifiers and to this modifier group of how would you like that cooked. Anytime you see the eyeball, just know it's a shortcut. And then this icon will hide the whole thing from being online. So maybe I don't want them to see this option online. I don't want that, but that's how you would turn it off. Or you can turn it off at each individual ingredient by selecting that. Okay, and then below that, we're going to choose a color. And there is a use specific hours option here as well. What that means is maybe I just had this available on Fridays and Saturdays. And then you can choose the time frame. I'm just going to leave it all day, but if you wanted it from like 5 to 10, then you could do it from 5 to 10. And then this option is to have the whole thing available online. If you don't want it online, then you remove the check. And this one has to do with kiosks and skip the line. We're going to hit save. Make sure you get your save successful down here. Once you get the save successful, you can click the X. And now we have our ribeye dinner here. Now the quick way to add an item, let's say I wanted to add a T-bone dinner. Then I would select this. And down here at the option, or down here at the bottom, I have the option to duplicate. I'm going to select duplicate, and it's going to duplicate everything about this except for the name. So now I can type in T-bone dinner, and I want it to have the same options, and it's the same price as everything else, reports to the same place, goes to the same kitchen, prints to the kitchen, has the same tax rate, all in the same sections, etc., etc., etc. And then I would hit save. Wait for your save successful to show up, and then you can close this. Now I have a T-bone dinner, and that took 30 seconds instead of 5 minutes. Okay, and that is all for this training video. Oh, don't forget to publish. Just a reminder, because I know everybody forgets about that. Don't forget to publish, otherwise it's not going to show up at your iPads. And that's okay for this. That's all for this video. Thanks for watching. Want to stay up to date on the latest tips and tricks? Don't forget to click the subscribe button and hit the bell icon.